Before showing you interesting and significant tables about Netanyahu court case, which is here, Netanyahu court case, Mishpat Netanyahu, let us see very recent news about what is going on with the case 4000. This is one of the others. Blaming 4,000, whatever it is, but this is the main one, case 4000, falling apart, makes mockery of prosecution. The prosecution chief witness in his flagship case against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu fell apart on the witness stand. He's a state witness, which is not at all according to the Jewish law. Will the judges have the courage to admit that the case was carelessly stitched up? No, the paper Israel Hayom asks. Good question. So let us see one of many tables which I did on this subject, and which is significant because I have many in Hebrew, but in English, this one really very, very clear. And what you have here, so you have on the bottom, as we said, no Netanyahu court cases, best meeting of Netanyahu in court case. Now what we are told about it, the Torah tells us, false accusation. False accusation, hashmat sheker, lying, lie. And it is about Netanyahu, who is prime minister, definite, Rosh Hashanah, the government, and this was the Supreme Court also judged him. Now we know quite well that the judges of this generation, the former Messiah, are called Erev, mixed multitude against the Torah. Definitely the laws of today in Israel, court cases in which you can rely on state witnesses that try to save themselves by testifying against Netanyahu. It's definitely far away from being true judgment. So what we have here, as I said, you have Netanyahu court case, and the people who are very much against him are Meretz, the leftists, even if it's twice Meretz, the leftists, and the leftins definitely. Those are the main parties in the government were very much against him and try to throw him away. This is what they really want to do. So, unfortunately, Supreme Court against the Torah never did something good for Orthodox, always blaming them, whatever it is. So this government the rulers against the Torah, mixed multitude, which is called Erev Rav. And it comes out from hatred, simple. They said, only not Bibi. You could see that there's no ideology, nothing. Always they said, no, Bibi, don't want Bibi. Yeah. Yeah, because, definitely the Arabs don't want him, and the leftists, because they want to give a state to the Palestinians, and Netanyahu and the right definitely don't allow it. So this is what you have here. Now, there are many tables in Hebrew, because basically it is the same idea here. Hashmat Sheker, also false blame of Netanyahu, Alila, this is a libel. Now, by the way, this is in Hebrew, but as I mentioned to you many times, there's a program that I'm using is Dr. Rothenberg himself, checked this phenomena from Professor Rips, both of them scientists from Russia, and he checked it that clearly it is true, clearly Torah is in heaven, he became Orthodox Jew, keep Shabbos and everything. And he says that best meetings, minimals, really are the most important. So as you saw before in the English one, this is really in Hebrew, you have Netanyahu, as you saw, and Hashmat Shab, wrong wrong blaming, verdict, whatever you said. And again, parallel the left, and again the left and Meretz. And this is Netanyahu, again Netanyahu. It is Lieberman, yeah, this is also Yeshatil, very much against Netanyahu. And then, okay, this is not so clear, but here you have also similar ideas. The left, small enemy of Netanyahu. Yeah, Netanyahu comes here. This evil force of Amalek, of Edom, hatred of the Likud to the right. Yeah, this definitely evil force. So, as I said, there are many other tables that I have, but many on Hebrew, but this English one really is very, very significant, yeah, because you have best meeting of Netanyahu court case mishpat, and you have also only twice in the Torah this expression, yeah, Ashmat Sheker, Ashmat, lying or false accusation. I know that the chance that false accusation will come to the same table with Netanyahu court case, yes, and those were really very much hatred, the hatred to Netanyahu by Meretz, by the left, and Arab Rav, these are the leaders of today, are against the Torah, we know quite well. And this is the kind of government that we have, yeah. So altogether, as I said, very interesting and significant tables. So this is, I said, that the expression false accusation appears twice in the Torah. And the minimum comes here, and Apgisha Chitova is the best meeting of Netanyahu. You must know, not everything come together. Netanyahu is letter after letter, definitely. As I said, we have many, many more in Hebrew, and I wanted really that you will see clearly what is going on now. I'm sure that if you follow the news in Israel, you can see exactly that what is going on. This main blame of Netanyahu for thousands is falling apart and makes mockery of the prosecution. You know, the prosecution realized they were wrong, and so they tried to cheat and but was not accepted by the court. No. So very likely, who knows? You know, it's frightening because of hatred, not Bibi. Yeah, they spend the millions for witness for everything, and unfortunately, teachers in Israel are crying, don't have enough money. So the whom they give the money to Ram, to the Arabs, yeah, they give few millions to them because they need them to support their government, and then try to this. Took witnesses, I think hundreds of witnesses, and frightening how people can waste their time when Israel has such serious problems, Iran and so on. No, what we can do, this is a Satan. It's an interesting and significant table for the news, the very recent news today, really, about the case of 4,000, which is falling apart, which makes mockery of the prosecution. The question is a good question, because the judges have the courage to admit that the case was carelessly stitched up. No. So the truth will come out, no doubt. You know, it is only hatred, jealousy, which brought to all this terrible situation. No, this is what happened to people who don't keep the Torah, how severe it is. And definitely having a case laws which is against the Torah, state witnesses frightening you. In fact, it was a case of a religious Orthodox, very important person. So they want to get rid of him. So they took a state witness, Ben Israel. And then the state witness agreed that he said clearly that he was lying and asked forgiveness. But this man, you know, was in prison, this important personality, scholar. Yeah, unfortunately, a few years, and his family suffered. Why? Because the government wanted through this state witness he wanted the seller his name. He wanted to get rid from this one because they were afraid it was a Sephardi and very successful. But in the end, he admitted that he was lying because of the pressure of the government, frightening to have such cases. So interesting, significant, and important table for our time.